How are you, my friend?
Good to meet you.
G'day, Mum.
Hello.
Now, take a seat there, Daniel. You're aged, how old are you?
17.
17. And you're doing your HSC when?
This year.
This year.
Yep.
Right. What do you want to do?
Open my own restaurant, hopefully.
You want to be a restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why do you want to do that?
I just love cooking.
Do you?
And, yeah.
Any restaurateurs in the family?
Not really, but my mum's a really good cook.
Your mum's going to be the #1 chef, is she? I see.
She'll be helping me at the back there.
Back?
All right. Well, now, getting back to your problem, you've got this big, sore, swollen shoulder. And you first noticed it playing squash in February, is that right?
Yes.
And what happened at that stage?
At that stage, when I first hit the wall, just my arm was in total agony. It was really painful, and I straight away knew there was something wrong with it.
When did you become aware of the lump?
I'd say about a week afterwards.
A week afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just got progressively bigger and bigger
yeah.
until you got to see us?
Yep.
Okay. Well, as you know, we did that biopsy, and we looked in there to see what it was, and it turned out to be an osteosarcoma. That's a malignancy of bone cells, and they can grow to quite a large size before people get any symptoms from them whatsoever.
Okay.
And then we did the scans. We did find one little nodule in the middle of your chest, and we think that that was a secondary deposit from this cancer going into the central part of the chest.
Okay.
Having reached that stage, the most important thing to survive this disease is chemotherapy. And that's what Professor Tattersall has given you, and that's why your pain got so much better.
Yeah.
Because the chemotherapy kills those cancer cells. We would like to be able to say to you that it kills all cancer cells.
Okay.
And sometimes we're very lucky and it does, but that's not often. It's highly likely that in there are still living cancer cells. All right, let's have a look at you. I suppose you think you look a bit like the Hulk, do you? All right. Well, we can see the difference between this side and that side. You've got a big lump on the shoulder here, which is the cancer, and it extends down away. There's our little biopsy tract. And see what you can do with your arm. Can you move it out, down, back? Oh, it's all right. Well, you're a good cheater. Do you know that? Because you're not moving your shoulder at all there. It's not moving at all. That movement that you've got there is your shoulder blade moving across your back. Your shoulder is absolutely fixed in position and it's not moving. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Good lad. Put your top back on. This X-ray here shows us your elbow down here, shoulder up here, and there's this big tumour here occupying over 90% of the cross-sectional area. And when I pointed out to you that your arm moved all as the one thing, that's because this tumour has actually made it round and is eating into your shoulder blade as well. So it's all fixed together. It's enormous. It's very big. The tumour comes down here over half the length of the arm there. That's just too big to deal with. Now comes the crunch. Your arm is at risk. You've known that since day one. Yeah. We've told you that. For somebody who has widespread disease elsewhere in the body, there's no way I could recommend removal of the arm because it wouldn't be worthwhile. The horse has already escaped, and so therefore, why shut the stable door afterwards, okay? In your case, it had only got out a little way into your chest, and we've managed to catch it at that point. We can't see it anywhere else. So I'm now left with the situation what do I do about this? In my opinion, unfortunately, it means the loss of your arm.
Okay.
Any chance to control this with surgery is going to cost you that arm. And that's called a 4/4 amputation. Chaps like me hate having to tell people or do this sort of thing, but it would be totally unfair to you to say anything else. That's your best and probably only chance of surviving this illness.
All right.
What an awful thing to say to a young man, but we have to say it.
Whether or not your disease could be cured when we first met you really depended upon whether the disease responded to the drug treatment. And the activity of the tumour has dramatically reduced. Under normal circumstances, we would plan the surgery to the arm as the next step. But in your case, I think the next step is to get a formal assessment by a colleague who does this all the time about seeing what we can do in the chest. I think we should get an opinion from Brown McCorn promptly about whether he agrees to operate or not. I believe that actually comes before facing up to, do I have to have my arm off?
Yeah.
After 4 weeks, Jacob came home and both he and Mum are doing really well. And James recovered from his surgery, but his bike's still off the road. Next week, Daniel finds out if his chest operation can go ahead.
It's a big call, a big decision that we have to make today.
Julie's been trapped between two sheets of glass.
Approximately 150 kilos each, so combined weight of 300 kilos. They've dropped.
And her co-worker Vincent probably saved her life. And
that is an aneurysm.
George is lucky he's still alive.
About a third of people never make it to hospital.